Hello everybody! This is going to be our mail and make class for this month. So it's featuring the Bonanza Buddies stamp set. I'm just actually going to go wash my hands because as you can see, I was just out for a walk with the dog and took a pretty bad wipeout. So I'm going to give it a chance for some people to join us. I'm going to wash my hands. Alrighty, much better. Now the other thing I still need to do, as you can tell, I came rushing in the door because between my fall and the fact that it is so nice outside, I didn't quite make it back at the time I was hoping I'd make it back. So let me see if I can bring up my comments and my samples and all of the things that I need here. So for those of you that don't really know what's going on, hi Christina. This is a new class that I'm doing. So I'm calling it Mail and Make. So what I'm doing is I'm sending out a little packet that looks like this, that has everything for these 3 cards in it. This is something that I'm going to be doing on an ongoing basis every month. I've been doing it sort of in a bit of a different way. So what I've been doing is I've been sending these out to my team members, but I actually wanted to expand that a little bit. So what I'm doing going forward is I'm actually doing 2 ways you can get it. So my team members, if you're new this month, or you you join under either myself or one of my team members, you will get this. Or if you're one of my achievers, so if you're one of the people that has at least $200 in sales, or you have you're one of the top in sales, one of the top in recruiting, you will get this packet automatically, and then with this video, hopefully that will give you the instructions that you need. For my team members, you also have access to the instructions through the workshop planner, which is posted in our drive. So that's another set of instructions that you can read. My dog is playing the in and out game right now, so I'm just going to open the door so that she can come in and out as she pleases and hopefully doesn't whine. Okay. So, I also just realized I'm missing an ink pad still, so I'll have to go grab that, but we'll just get going. So the first card that we're going to make is kind of our simple stamping card, and I wanted to show you a couple things with this. The first being, when you receive your card, it's going to be scored and folded just so that it fits in the envelope, but you can see when you just fold a card, it actually sits up a little bit like that. So for those of you that haven't been to one of my in-person classes, you know that I am pretty obsessed with my bone folder, which I'm having trouble finding right now because I just packed it away for a class. There it is. So with my bone folder, what I like to do is I like to burnish this crease so that it's nice and tight, I guess you could call it, but the crease is really sharp. So to do this, you want to use the edge of your bone folder, not the flat piece, but the edge. And you're going to rub that across back and forth a couple of times. I'll even do it on both sides of the card. And then you can see that the card actually sits flat, which is nice when you're stamping on the front of it or you just want it to look nicer. I'm also going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to layer a piece of Whisper White on top of my card base, just like that. And I'm going to do this a couple times today where I'm doing that kind of tone on tone, but I really like the way that it looks. So from this stamp set, we're going to take out this strip here because this is actually going to be like a candle. And you can tell that I haven't actually used these stamps before. The samples were made, actually were designed by somebody else, so I didn't have to do the work. So it was Melanie Hawken that designed these, which saves me a ton of work, and I just get to create, which is a lot of fun. All right, so for this one, we're gonna use Lovely Lipstick, and we are going to use Pineapple Punch. So these are the two of the in colors, but you can use any colors you want for this one because we're actually not using any designer series paper or anything like that we need to coordinate with. So you can do this in any colors you want or any colors you have. And we're very simply just going to stamp 5 little candles across the front of our card. So I just did the one in the middle, and then I'll do the two on each side. And then on top for the little flame, we're gonna do this little starburst, and I'm gonna give each of those candles a little flame. So this is just a fun kind of different way to use these stamps without having to use the dies or anything like that. So now I'm going to glue this on here. It looks like Alice is watching too. Alice actually just left my house not that long ago with her make and take packet, or mail and make packet, because I did not get these out as early as I would have liked to this month. I have to be a little bit more on it next month. So there we go, and now we are going to stamp our greeting. So our greeting, where did my stamps go? We're gonna go with the Let's Celebrate You. And we're gonna stamp it. I did include this little scrap in your make and take packets, so you have this little piece. And we're just gonna stamp this right in the middle of that piece. Ta-da! And then you can cut little flagged ends. Now, one way to cut flagged ends is just in the middle of your piece, trim in, and then trim the triangles to either side. And that's a quick and easy way to get your little flagged ends if you don't have a punch that you do it with, or any other ways to do it. That is kind of an old classic that a lot of us forget about. And then this one is going to go on with a couple of dimensionals. If you don't have dimensionals, you can use glue dots, or you can just use your glue, whatever you want. And that's going to go right across our little candles. Ta-da! So super quick, super simple, just a very nice little card there. Okay, so we're going to put all this stuff away because we have more cards to make. Oh, just one stiff. There we go. Okay, next up. This card, we've got a few layers. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit differently than you're going to do it. So I've got my card base and I've got my layers and stuff. I'm going to put these other ones out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing with my card base. I'm going to fold it, and then I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder, again using that edge to get a nice sharp crease. Now, before I glue anything together, I need a starburst circle. Now, in your make and take packets, you have a starburst circle that I've punched for you. But when you're making cards like this on your own, if you want to save some paper, what you can do is, because this black layer is actually going to be hidden behind the designer series paper, you can punch a whole bunch of stuff out of this. So I'm actually going to punch out one of my black starburst circles, and I could actually get another one out of this, but I'm not going to get too excited about it, because then when I actually glue this all together, and again, you don't have to do this on your cards because I've punched you that circle. Okay, so now when I cover it up, no one's going to be able to tell because it's all hidden on the back side here. And then I'm going to actually go ahead and attach this to my card. There we are. Alrighty. So if you want to get this particular set of cards, there's really only one way to do it left, and that is to place an order with me this month. So if you haven't already placed an order with me, and if you're not sure if you're getting this or not, you can ask and I will tell you. But you're welcome to place an order with me this month, and then I will still send out this set of make and takes if you place your order today. As of tomorrow, it's March 1st, and you will get March's mail and make class instead. Okay, this is just a piece of white. Now this is again a little bit different than your cards. Yours are just going to be just the piece of white. It was going to be, believe it or not, put me over what I can mail if I included the extra sheet of cardstock. So I decided to just go with just the white for the inside of yours. You can always still add that layer of black if you want. And this is something that I like to do on my cards when I'm using a colored card base, is I will put a piece of white on the inside so that I have something white or vanilla to write on the inside. Of course, I don't actually write on the insides of my cards anymore, but you get the idea. I use my Post-it notes so that the receiver can actually use the card. Okay, now we're gonna do a bit more stamping. I need to get rid of some of these stamps so that I have room on my blocks. Okay, so for this one, we are going to use, we're gonna use the happy birthday. We're going to use the balloon string, and we're going to use the balloon. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my balloon. I'm going to do that in Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to pop it right there. Then I'm going to do my balloon string. And that's just going to go right below my little balloon. And then last but not least, I'm going to put my happy birthday on here. And that I'm going to do in crushed curry. And I'm going to just offset that a little bit so that it still fits on my circle. Ta-da! So that is all the stamping I'm doing for this card. Now I'm going to layer this onto my black starburst that I cut out. There we go. Now on the back of this, I actually want to add some ribbon. Now there's this ribbon, there's another one shown in the photos if you're looking at the PDF. So whatever ribbon you have works. My make and take packets include this one because this is what actually goes with the suite. I can't remember what it's called. Ruffle ruche. I can't remember, something. And all I do is put some snail on the back of my piece, and then I have something that will hold this down as I kind of go back and forth with it. And then I can trim my ends however I want them and attach this whole piece. That snail isn't necessarily going to hold that ribbon permanently. It's just going to hold it so that you have something to work with while you're putting it down. And then we'll use dimensionals to actually hold everything together. Maybe do one more dimensional on this because I can. Right in the middle there. Okay. And then we're going to pop that onto the card. This is a simple card that works really well to showcase designer series paper like this. You can do this with any stamp set, any designer series paper. You're just going to change up the ribbon and the colors. This actually, I think, is one of the designs in my Stamp-A-Stack class, which is kind of cool. That Melanie may or may not have used that, but that one of those designs has come up. Okay, but this class is 3 cards, so I've got another card to do here. So this card has a few more layers. It's a little bit more involved. I've got a bunch of little die cut pieces. So I'm going to do some stamping. Oh, and I need to go get that other ink pad. And, oh, I'm not seeing comments for some reason. Weird. I just saw there was a thing that somebody had commented, but the comment didn't actually come up. Let me just see if I can sort this out quick. Anyways, while my computer is thinking about its life and loading, oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, Marie. Sorry, I didn't get your comments until just now. Okay. I still don't get why the comments are coming up. Anyways, alrighty. So I've got my card base folded and burnished. I'm gonna glue this layer on, and I have embossed this for you. This is using the eyelet lace embossing folder, and I've embossed that for you, so you don't have to do that. And then I've got a piece of designer series paper here as well that we're gonna layer on top. And that's just gonna go on like that. And you can move it up or down however you want. I've got it up a little bit from what the sample says. Oh, and we're gonna put a piece of white inside too. So this is usually what I do, is I just take that 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece and I put that on the inside of my card base. The other one I just got a little fancy with it. And then it's just a nice neutral space to write on, and it also actually helps your cards stand. If you find that your cards are very front heavy and tip over a lot, adding that layer on the inside will actually help them stand up better on a mantle or a desk. Just a little pro tip there. Okay, now we've got some stamping and stuff to do. So I'm gonna stamp on this one first. I'm gonna get rid of, again, some of these pieces that I don't need. So I've got that starburst out again, and then I've got the Let's Celebrate You. And those I'm gonna stamp onto the tag. So we're gonna do the Let's Celebrate You. We'll do that right across the bottom of the tag. And again, this tag is die cut for you, so you don't have to worry about that at all. And then I'm going to use terracotta tile, which is the same as my background and my embossed layer. And I'm going to just add a few of these little starbursts. And you can see how those starbursts actually coordinate with the ones on the designer series paper, which is kind of fun. And then, as Alice heard me yakking about today, you always want to have uneven numbers, and then it'll look a little bit more random. So right now I've got 6, so it will look a bit better if I just add a 7th on there. Goes for rhinestones, whatever, all that kind of stuff. The other thing that I'm going to stamp is this little cluster of balloon strings. So this is going to be where I glue my little balloons on. So we'll do that there. One more thing I want to do with my balloons, and then I have to go get my other, oh no, I have to go get it anyways. Okay, I'm gonna have to run to my craft room quick and grab a couple of things because I've forgotten them. I'll be right back. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to add some Wink of Stella to my terracotta tile balloon. So these I've already die cut for you. You've got 2 designer series paper ones, and then this one that's just cardstock. And to add a little bit of glitz and glam, you can, if you have one, add Wink of Stella to either just your cardstock balloon or all of them, and that'll give them a little bit of shimmer. Okay, I'm just gonna do the one. All right, now you've got this little piece in there that you can stamp your little koala bear with. So, our little koala bear is 2 steps. we've got the bear and then we've got the little face. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mount up the bear and we're gonna stamp him in Smoky Slate. That's so cute. And then we are going to stamp his little face in black. This was like the whole reason I wanted this stamp set. This little koala bear is just so darn cute. Ta-da! Adorable. Now you do have the die that cuts this out, and I could do that, but I'm actually going to fussy cut it because I'm going to show you how easy it is to fussy cut too. And fussy cutting is not something you have to be afraid of. It's fussy, but you can do it. So what I like to do with these kinds of shapes is I will do some basic cutting first. So I'm going to cut along the bottom of the feet, make my piece just smaller to work with, and then start with the bigger pieces. So I'm going to cut along the ears here. And always when you're fussy cutting like this, don't try to move the scissors along. Keep your scissors somewhere where they're comfortable, where you can keep them for a while, where they're steady, they're not going to get knocked about, and then move the paper through the scissors. And that is so much easier. Then all you're worried about with the scissors is just kind of slowly closing them. And you don't want to close them all the way, because when you close them all the way, you'll get a little bit of a thingy when they close all the way. So don't close them all the way, just slowly as you're going along. And you're moving the paper through the scissors. That is the big thing. And some people really like doing this, some people hate it. And either way, it's okay. That's why we have dies and punches, so that we don't have to fussy cut everything. But I also don't like to die cut too much when I've got big masses of things to prepare. So not that I'm saying that it's easier to fussy cut masses of things, it is not. But I'll actually try to avoid dies when I'm prepping classes because it's a pain in the butt to have to die cut everything. I'd much rather make a bunch of people fussy cut something than me have to sit and die cut a bunch of things. Sorry, not sorry. And I've lost all my comments now. My computer has completely died. Just in case you were wondering. That's what happens when you don't plug things in. Apparently they die. Who knew? All right, I will answer all of your comments afterwards. Okay, so we have our little koala bear, and we're gonna pop him or her. I guess it could be a her. We are not going to assume the koala bear's gender. We're gonna put our little koala bear right there so that it's holding our balloons. And then we've got our 3 balloons. I'm gonna put the designer series paper ones on first. Stuck to my finger. That one can go there. That one can go there. And then I've got this cardstock one. I'm actually gonna pop this one up on 2 dimensionals. So I'm gonna peel it off, and then I'm gonna add another dimensional. So this is actually gonna be a double stack of dimensionals, and that will give it even more dimension. And then this whole tag, before I forget, we need to put the little ribbon on it. And again, this ribbon is in your packet. It's Grapefruit Grove, which is not terracotta tile, but it actually coordinates really well with this designer series paper. So even though it's not, I don't know if it's actually listed on the paper. Where did I put the paper? Oh, the paper's all the way across the room. I'm not gonna go grab it. I'm not sure if it's listed or not, but as a coordinating color, but it certainly does coordinate. Alrighty, and then we're gonna cut these little ends like that. And some more dimensionals. Dog hair everywhere. Pet glitter. It's not dog hair, it's pet glitter. Okay, and then you can put this straight, or I like to put tags like this on a bit of an angle. And there you go. So there is the third card. I'll show you the other two again. So those are the 3 cards that are in your mail and make packet. Again, if you haven't received this packet yet, well, you wouldn't have received it yet because they're still sitting on my table waiting to be mailed. So they will go out in the mail on Monday. And then if you're not one of the people that's receiving it, so if you haven't already placed an order with me this month, or one of my team achievers, you can still get it if you place an order with me today. It is the 29th, the last day of the month. So your order has to come in today, and then you'll get this packet to make these 3 cards. Otherwise, we're into March, and we'll do this again in March. And again, all my team achievers and anyone who places an order with me in March will get a mail and make packet to make 3 cards that will be featuring a different stamp set, some different products. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun. Happy stamping.